Today I'm going to tackle something different. I'm excited to share my unique twist on a classic digestive biscuits. This beloved Scottish treat has captivated taste buds worldwide. The ones you buy in the store are delicious, so how can we improve these? Well, I have a couple of ideas. Hi, I'm Sune, and I'm not just a food enthusiast, I'm a full-blown food geek. I'm here to share my passion and knowledge with you. Digestive biscuits were first created in Scotland in the 1830s by doctors who believed that their high baking soda content aided digestion. In 1892, McVitie revolutionized the recipe, producing the modern biscuit, characterized by its lightly sweet, crumbly texture and whole wheat base. So, biscuits, but that looks like a cookie, right? Well, if you're in the US, it does. European biscuits are typically sweet, crisp, and dry baked goods, often enjoyed with tea or coffee. In contrast, biscuits in the US are soft, flaky bread rolls made with flour, butter, and leavening agents. They're commonly served as a savory side dish with meals or topped with gravy. So how do the Europeans tell the biscuits, cookies, and crackers apart? Well, European biscuits are crisp, dry, and often sweet. Cookies in Europe are usually sweeter and more decadent, often with mix-ins like chocolate chips or nuts. Conversely, crackers are savory, thin, and crisp. They're frequently lightly salted or flavored with herbs and cheese, and designed to complement cheese spreads or dips. Alright, so all of that is squared away. How did I make this recipe? Since wholemeal is integral to digestive biscuits, I started with a blend of 50-50 wholemeal and all-purpose flour. They are supposed to be sweet, but not overly so about 40% of the flour weight seemed reasonable. Baking soda is needed, and 1% of the flour weight is standard in biscuits and cookies. You cannot have a baked good without salt, so I settled on 1.5% of the flour weight. If you like salty things, you can take it all the way to 3%. It is delicious, but it doesn't match the authentic taste. Some liquid is also needed, so I added 25% whole milk. Lastly, we need a good amount of butter, 50% of the flour weight. It may seem wild, but you need to try it. All I can say is butter. After all of that, we arrive at a hydration of around 30%, which is perfect for this style of baked good. It's enough to mix the dough, but not so much that it takes an hour to cook it crispy. Then there's the look. I couldn't find any cookie cutters to make digestive biscuits with text and everything, so I turned to 3D printing. 3D printing, is that food safe? I hear you say. Well, it can be, but you have to be careful. I used a PETG filament without any added color and a hardened steel nozzle instead of brass, which I will only use for this purpose. People also talk about bacterial growth in the layer lines, and in this case, the cutter touches so little of the dough that I don't worry. You do you. So I went about making the cutter using CAD software. I got an image of a digestive as a template. I flipped the image so that the cutter would make the text the right way around, and then I printed it on my 3D printer. I wish I could say I had it right the first time, but it took a few tries to get it just right. Yes. If you want to print one for yourself, there's a link for the model in the description. It's totally free for you. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider joining my Patreon. You can also buy some merch, or use the super thanks, or use the links for tools and ingredients in the description. Those were the words. This is the recipe. You can find the complete recipe on my website. Just follow the link in the description. To a medium bowl, add 100 grams or 2/3 cup of wholemeal flour, 100 grams or 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour, 80 grams or half a cup of granulated sugar, 2 grams or half a teaspoon of baking soda, 2 grams or 1/4 teaspoon of table salt. Mix it thoroughly. Then add 100 grams or half a cup of cold, cubed, unsalted butter. Work it into the dough with your fingers. I'm wearing gloves because my very warm hands would otherwise melt the butter. Once it resembles a crumble, add 50 ml or 1/4 cup of whole milk. Work it into the dough. Knead the dough until all of the flour butter mixture is incorporated. Heat your oven to 175 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit without the fan. If you cannot turn off your oven fan, lower the temperature to 165 degrees Celsius, 330 degrees Fahrenheit. Divide the dough into 2 equally sized pieces. Roll the dough out on parchment paper to a uniform thickness of 4 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch. I'm using a special rolling pin that makes it easy to do that. There's a link in the description. Spray the cookie cutter with baking spray to prevent the dough from sticking to the intricate details. Use the cookie cutter to cut the biscuits. If one biscuit fails, it's okay. Just put it aside and roll it into the leftover dough later. Bake the biscuits on the middle rack for 20 to 25 minutes until they're lightly golden brown. Let them cool on a wire rack. You should be able to get somewhere between 22 to 25 biscuits with this dough. Alright, now that that's done, let's look at the finished biscuits. Well, hello there. These biscuits are not just good, they are amazing. The crunch, the crumble, the butter, it's a taste sensation that will leave you craving for more. The look certainly adds a certain je ne sais quoi, don't you think? I hope you learned something today. See you next time.